Welcome back to this week's news in GamingBolt, and today we're going to be talking about CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk 2077, particularly when it comes to the combat. If there's one area where CD Projekt Red's masterpiece The Witcher 3 was criticized, it's the combat department. While it isn't fundamentally broken or anything like that, it's far from being among the game's best aspects. As such, fans are hoping that combat in the studio's upcoming Cyberpunk 2077 will be significantly better. As it so happens, it looks like CD Projekt Red wants that too. As per a new job ad posted on CD Projekt Red's official website, the Polish studio is looking to hire a new combat designer to work on the upcoming RPG and help them deliver, quote, memorable combat encounters that thrill and excite our players, unquote. The ad lists various responsibilities following that, some of which might give you an idea of what style of combat the game might go for. One of the responsibilities is to design memorable combat encounters based on predefined narrative, environmental, and gameplay themes, while another is to script both stealth and action-based encounters, while yet another is to craft divergent experiences that cater to all available playstyles. It certainly seems to give the idea that combat is going to be quite dynamic. Of course, we'll find out in good time as we see more gameplay for Cyberpunk 2077. Now coming to Electronic Arts, it recently announced the dates and timings for its EA Play 2017 event. It will be held at the Hollywood Palladium on June 9th to 11th. Saturday's timings are 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., while timings on Sunday and Monday will be 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tickets are free, and there will be some exciting games on offer, like, the next Battlefield experience. Though EA has already confirmed the release of a new Battlefield in October 2018, this is the first confirmation of it being playable in some form. If it follows the pattern of Battlefield 1, then expect a reveal trailer and announcement prior to E3 2018 with actual gameplay at the conference itself. Other games that will be available at EA Play 2018 include new EA Sports titles, BioWare's Anthem, which should be the first time that it's playable, The Sims 4, and mobile games. EA also teases a few surprises as well. Naughty Dog has been known for its third-person titles like Uncharted, Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, and The Last of Us. The Last of Us Part 2 will continue that trend, but as creative director Neil Druckmann noted at the recent DICE Summit, the studio would be open to different perspectives in future titles. Quite literally at that. During a panel, Druckmann talked about how The Last of Us had a number of ideas before finally being nailed down. When deciding on the use of first-person versus third-person, the team went with a third-person camera, but closer to offer a first-person feel and make the player more intimate with their on-screen character. However, the development team is interested in making other kinds of games, including a joke from Druckmann about developing Half-Life 3 as a first-person title. Whatever the studio's next title will be, it's totally open to ideas, and that includes, possibly, not making another third-person game. While we doubt Naughty Dog will unveil any kind of first-person game anytime soon, it is good to hear their interest in different ideas. As for The Last of Us Part 2, it still has no release date for PS4. You would think that, given just how many updates the Xbox One has received since launch, most of which have been substantially feature-rich, adding a lot of new functionality to the system, there wouldn't be much left to add at this point, or at the very least, nothing that's too notable, right? Well, you'd be wrong in that case, since apparently there are cool new features coming to the Xbox One, at least according to Xbox's Major Nelson, who posted a tease about the cool new functionality for the Xbox One that he apparently has had the chance to go hands-on with. He teased that more information about these features will be shared in due time. As for what these features could be, we legitimately don't know. We have pretty much everything major that can be thought of at this point. Maybe some kind of remote play functionality for iOS and Android smartphones. That's pretty much all we can think of right now. And now we come to a very popular topic in this week's releases, Konami's Metal Gear Survive, which promises a very different kind of Metal Gear experience than any that fans have been familiar with up to now, placing an emphasis on co-op survival against a horde of zombies as opposed to stealth and infiltration like previous games in the series. Yes, really. But it's still Metal Gear, or at least that's what Konami wants you to feel, and so it's literally rewarding players for just seeing the title logo for the game. And by reward, we mean the DITE achievement/trophy in Metal Gear Survive that's given to players for literally just seeing the game's logo. This happens when you complete the game's prologue. Now, we're not sure if Konami thinks simply getting to the title screen in the game is an achievement for players or what, but, well, I guess it's an easy one to get under your belt, assuming you collect these. Continuing with Survive, if you were looking to play the game with another character, it looks like you'd best pony up $10 worth of microtransactions in Konami's latest title. In-game purchases for the title have been no secret, but in one of the more creative displays of anti-consumer monetization, if you wanted to open up a second save slot for a second character, you'll have to drop at least $10. Players are discovering that because all of their in-game progress is tied to an avatar, whether single player or online. The only way to have a fresh start while still maintaining that first file is creating another avatar, an ability which demands either deleting your first save file and avatar or spending 1000 SV coins for another slot. The nearest amount to the total which can be bought is 1150 SV coins, which asks the player to drop $10. While they aren't doing loot boxes in the most tone-deaf response to a controversy this year, this save slot microtransaction isn't the only type they're indulging in either. Konami is also offering cosmetic DLC, extra loadout slots, and character boosts which can expire. So forgetting about Metal Gear Survive for a second, what is its original creator Hideo Kojima up to? Well, in recent news, Kojima Productions' Death Stranding continues to bolster its cast with the addition of famous voice actors Troy Baker and Emily O'Brien. The latter announced the news on Instagram when she stood with Baker and Norman Reedus. Reedus is billed as the main character of the story, with Mads Mikkelsen of Hannibal fame as the antagonist and Guillermo del Toro, The Shape of Water and Pacific Rim Uprising, in a supporting role. There's no word yet on what the roles of Baker and O'Brien will be. In the latter's case, this at least lends credence to the rumors of a female lead in addition to Reedus' character. O'Brien is otherwise busy with Sony Bend Studios' Days Gone, while Baker once again takes on the role of Joel in The Last of Us Part 2. Both O'Brien and Baker have worked together in Telltale's Batman: The Enemy Within, so this isn't their first rodeo. And finally, we come to the MPD Group's report for January 2018. It noted that the Nintendo Switch shifted the most number of consoles in the United States. However, it made sure to note that despite each platform being neck and neck, it was the PlayStation 4 that garnered the most revenue. With a global lifetime total that's likely crossed 75 million units, what could possibly be left for Sony's console to achieve? Perhaps 100 million units sold? GamingBolt spoke to NPD analyst Matt Piscatella about the PS4 sales and asked if it's possible that the console hits 100 million units sold by 2019 end. Piscatella responded that hardware units are mainly driven by content and pricing strategies. I'm interested in seeing how the PS4's price point changes over the year, both in base price as well as in promotional pricing. I do expect the PS4 to have another great year of sales, but I do expect it to be down versus 2018. This is to be expected because as times change, demands for different functions will continue to grow. Sony is doing a good job with its software lineup though, with fresh games that also release on a consistent basis. But how long can the company continue in this vein before releasing a brand new console? We asked Piscatella when the right time would be for Sony to launch the PlayStation 5. Unsurprisingly, he forecast 2020 as a potential release year, echoing predictions by Wedbush Morgan's Michael Pachter. 2020 is what I have in my forecast. The data suggests there's no need to do it earlier, but I've been surprised before, so I'm as interested in this as anyone, he said. That'll be it for this video. If you like what we're doing, please go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.